Ooh,
And we are live, guys. Good morning. Good evening in Dave's case. Appreciate you for coming on, Dave.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks
sure
for
you
having
guys have
me.
heard of him. We got Dave from Just the Watch. Just hit 30,000 subscribers. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's yeah, really exciting.
What watch? We'll do a wrist check.
Sure. Thank you. Oh, but sorry. Okay, now I'm echoing. Okay. Yeah. So this is my newest pickup. Let's see if I can get this in focus here. This is a. Let's see. Oh, go on. It's a Hamilton Jazzmaster GMT.
The
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
So I just picked this one up, and yeah, really, really enjoying it. So I haven't even haven't reviewed it or anything yet.
Awesome. Which GMTs are actually pretty
That's right.
functional for
Yeah.
you, right?
So GMTs.
Because you're over in, for those that you don't know,
That's
he's
right.
over in Japan.
Yeah. So GMT is like my favorite complication. So I could, yeah, because I'm always trying to figure out what time it is back in California. So I'm originally from California, so a lot of friends and family back there. So yeah, really, really useful complication to have.
Nice. Nice. I'm still wearing that. I don't know if you saw the video I did. I'm wearing the Pelago. I was lucky enough to Roman sent that in. Check out.
Sweet.
Really, that thing wears really light, surprisingly. But yeah, just want to bring Dave on, guys, and have a chat with him about YouTube, kind of like the ins and outs. As you know, he's been doing it. We were talking off screen. You were saying for what, about almost 3 years now?
Yeah, I think I just hit 3 years. So yeah, I was looking up because I always forget. But yeah, I posted my first video January 5th, 2018. So we just passed 3 years.
Okay. Okay, and you said that it's kind of chronicling your journey. Like you started YouTube collecting watches, pretty much, right?
Right. Yeah. So I basically started watch collecting right around the time I started the channel. Yeah, I kind of got sucked into watch collecting by watching YouTube. So I started watching YouTube videos, seeing all the stuff was out there, getting excited, especially seeing reviews of some more affordable pieces. Yeah, figured I'd give it a shot, and at the same time, I thought, well, if I'm going to start trying to get my hands on some affordable pieces, I might as well post reviews while I'm doing it too, and try and learn how YouTube works. So yeah, it's been, yeah, I think it started out as kind of like a 1 year project. I said, okay, I'm going to try and post one video a week for 1 year, just see what happens. And I had a lot of fun. I just decided to keep doing it. So here I am.
Okay. Nice. And you cover mainly the affordable.
Yeah, that's right. So focus on affordable watches. Try and keep it at $500 or less. It's just sort of the limit I set, but I don't know. Occasionally I go over it, but most of the time, yeah, stuff is under that limit.
Okay. Now, do you find yourself ever like looking at some of the more luxury end or the higher end? Do you find yourself like kind of like me, but most of them, of course, I can't really afford this right now.
Yeah.
Just fortunate to check it out right now.
So I mean, like the main reason I got into affordable watches is because that was the only thing I can afford. And like really even now, like the only reason I can afford even, something like this Hamilton is because the channel's gotten bigger. So I have some money from the YouTube channel, and then I can put that towards buying watches. But other than that, I would never be able to afford a luxury timepiece. I'd love to have one, but yeah, two things. One is just I don't have the money to do that just with my lifestyle. Second, my profession, I'm a pastor. I'm like planting a church out here in Japan. So like the whole idea of like a pastor wearing a Rolex just never sat that well with me. It just does not a great look. So if I did, I'd probably like be wearing it in my house and looking at it and would be afraid of anybody seeing it with me. We're wearing it anyways. So yeah, so affordable watches are great.
Understand that. Nice. Penny from All in Her Movements. She just started a channel, by the way, Dave. If you want to check her channel out.
Oh, cool. Yeah, check it out.
She just got a 2021 Submariner. Mm-hmm. She's asking if you had mentioned some of your favorite affordables. What are some of your favorite?
Yeah, some of my favorite affordable watches. So especially since getting to Japan, I've really fallen in love with the Orient. So I actually started the channel while I was back in the States. Backing up a bit. I'm planting a church here in Japan, but part of that is I usually wind up me and my family going back to the U.S. for extended periods of time. So we'll go back to the U.S. for 6 months to a year, and then we'll be back here for a few years and kind of bounce back and forth. So I actually started the channel last time we were in the States, and then moved back to Japan in the middle of that. But there's so many. Orient has such a bigger catalog than I realized, and once I came over here, like there's so many available. So I've gotten a lot of Orient watches since I've been here. Recently, I picked up last year I picked up the Orient Star Sports Outdoor, which is field watch. I don't know, I've got that around here somewhere. Really love that one. What else? Citizen too. Citizen Nighthawk was one of my first watches that I ever picked up, and still have it. Still love it. I've gotten a chance to look at a lot of micro brands. Been getting into Zelos a little bit lately. They've been sending me some stuff over, and been really impressed with what they've sent over. So a bunch of different stuff.
Nice. I picked up. I don't know if you saw. I picked up that little TriStar from Orient for like $90. You can't really beat that one.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, they kind of fit right in with the Seiko 5 range. Good competitor to it, and yeah, they definitely have their own style and their own look to it.
Definitely. Now, do you see yourself making this? Well, of course, obviously, you said you're a pastor, but would you ever see yourself making this as like a career, like the YouTube thing, or just like a little?
Yeah, it would have to be if the pastor thing didn't work out. As long as I'm doing this, I'm not going to be looking to do YouTube full time. So I really enjoy it. It might be fun. I don't know. I've watched a couple of guys go full time, and it just seems super stressful to be at the hands of YouTube and subscribers and keeping everything going. I like it kind of as a little bit of a side hobby, maybe like a side job or something, but not the main thing.
And Eric's got a question: do Seiko watches cost significantly less in Japan since they theoretically have fewer steps in distribution?
It's weird. Some of them do, and some of them don't. Like it's like sometimes I'll be shopping on in Japan sites, and I'll find some crazy good deals. And sometimes I'll look up the same watch that's really cheap in the States, and it'll be twice as much here in Japan. So I haven't quite figured that one out. But yeah, Seiko is kind of a weird one. Occasionally you can find good deals, but then other times it seems like they're more expensive here than in the States.
Now, what about like G-Shock? Like I know G-Shock, they've had all kind of limited editions lately, but do you find those cheaper over there than in the States?
They're about the same. So I was able to get the JDM ones definitely. Anything that's JDM I can find cheaper here because obviously anybody who's bringing it to the States, they're charging a markup with shipping and anything like that. So like when they did the yellow Casio versions that were JDM only, I was able to get that one, from Amazon for like $150 or something, and they were pretty hard to find in the States. But anything that's available internationally, a lot of the international models are cheaper outside of Japan than inside of Japan.
Okay. And then Peter's saying he lent in that little edifice that I just unboxed. Peter's asking, do you ever say no to a watch company, like a micro brand that?
Recently more and more just because I've been busy.
Don't really agree with.
I don't know. I guess since the channel's taken off a little bit, I'm on everybody's radar. So I've been getting a lot of emails, and I just haven't had. I don't have time to do all of them. I try and prioritize the ones that I think either I'm interested in or I think viewers would be interested in. I have had to turn down quite a few. And some of them are, do seem a little bit shady sometimes. So they look like, maybe they just are reselling AliExpress watches or something like that. So stuff like that, I kind of just pass on.
Yeah, there's been a few that I've even turned down. Like I just know I couldn't say anything positive about them. So I just
exactly.
politely tell them no.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Jason, another great channel, by the way. He's asking if there are current challenges for you doing one video per week.
It kind of depends on how busy I am that week with normal life. So recently I've been kind of streamlining my process, which basically means I'm spending less time per video so that was something that, like, initially when I was getting my channel going, I was spending a lot of time on each video, trying to really make the best video that I could, because one, I'm new to watches, so I don't have a lot of, I feel like I don't have like a ton of knowledge to put into it, but I feel like I can, do a good video production and show the watch off in a good light, and give my experiences with it. And if I can put together a good presentation, maybe that's something people would be would enjoy and feel entertained by. But like recently I've been getting more watches in at the same time. So now I'll like set up a shot, to film a watch, and then I'll just kind of swap watches out. So I'll have the same setting, might move things around a little bit. And then what that winds up doing is it really streamlines the process to where, I'll wind up I'll be filming like 5 watch videos at the same time. And again, I feel like, some of it is I'm not putting in quite as much time as I was per video, but then just the experience that I've gotten over the last 3 years, I think the quality output is still about level with what it was. So it's kind of an experiment right now, as I'm trying to figure out.
I haven't really noticed a dip in quality.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out if I can ramp up the quantity of videos that I put out without reducing my quality too much, and that's probably going to be a win. But yeah. So that's kind of the phase I am right now. If it all crashes and dives, I'll probably have to step back and say, okay, I'm going to go back to really focusing on one video at a time, and just doing that. And I'll have to turn down a lot of stuff that's offered to come in. But yeah, that's where I am now.
Gotcha. I gotcha. So, you make it back to the States about once, twice a year?
To the States?
And got a question from Jason. What kind of equipment do you use for your videos? Yeah. Might be a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, sorry, there's a little bit of a lag there. I think first question was about going back to the U.S. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah. So you said you go back to California about once, twice a year?
Usually it's every few years. So we were originally scheduled to go back this summer, but because of coronavirus and other things, I probably won't be going back this year. So maybe next year we might go back for a short time. Yeah. And then you see the question about the equipment that I'm using. So I use a Panasonic Lumix GX8 camera. I just got one new lens, but mostly I've just been using the stock lens for most of the stuff I've been doing. I recently purchased a Godox SL60W light with the softbox that I use for a lot of stuff. So that's my main gear. Then I shoot a lot of stuff kind of handheld and on the go when I'm outside. If I'm setting up for like a studio shot, then it'll be lit and everything will be on tripod and steady. But a lot of what I like to do is get out of the house and just be in parks or at the beach or something and
get natural lighting.
Try and show it off there.
Okay.
But yeah, so my camera's
what do you use for cameras? What you just went over that.
Yeah, mine's a Micro Four Thirds.
The SLR and a tripod with video feed.
Yeah,
mine's just a little old iPhone 11. I upgraded major from the iPhone 6 to an 11.
Those have killer cameras on them. I mean, there's a lot of big YouTube channels that are run off of an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. I think Rob off of Random Rob. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe he told me he just uses an iPhone too, and a newer iPhone.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, his stuff looks great, especially when he does the streaming and stuff. He's got some of the best streaming quality I've seen.
And I just have a little simple like ring light and a little studio light.
Yeah, lighting is something that I've really kind of gotten into in the last couple of years.
Nice. You're saying Peter's saying it seems you got more comfortable and more efficient in making your videos.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
He thinks they're great.
All right, Nello, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, let's see. Nilo. All right, Nilo, don't work too hard, bud. And then Jason's saying he still uses his iPhone.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've actually watched some of Jason's stuff. I'm really impressed with what he puts. I'm curious what video editing software he's using, because he's got some pretty slick videos coming out.
He does great work. Anybody else got any questions for Dave? I was going to go over collection goals. If you got, what are your personal watch collection goals? Now, do you find it hard? Do you like to consolidate or have a bigger collection? You find it harder having a channel to consolidate? Because
Yeah.
I know I have a hard time consolidating.
Right. Yeah. I have a hard time now at this point even defining what my collection is. Like the channel has completely taken over my watch collection. I don't like, I try and figure out which watches are my collection and which ones are ones that I'm just have because I need to review watches. Yeah. So I'm trying to work that. I guess that's my collection goal, is to figure out what my collection is this year. And then work on it. But yeah, it's weird. It's like, as long as I have the channel, like I hardly have time to wear my own watches. It's like I'm always just wearing whatever I'm reviewing to test it out so that I have something to say about it. So it's incredibly fun, like to just get to always be rotating through different watches and trying new stuff out.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, if I ever get done with the channel, what watches am I going to keep and actually wear? And I certainly have watches that are like my favorites, but then, every once in a while a new watch will come in that I wasn't expecting. It'll just blow me away. I'll be like, oh, this is the greatest watch ever. And now is it going to be part of my collection now, or what, or who knows what?
Yeah. Every once in a while you get that one that will really surprise you. Cause just like with this Pelagos, like I would probably never even worn one or had the chance to see one. And then Roman sent it in, and now, like, I love it. I mean, I won't get it anytime soon, but it may, a couple years down the road. I know if I have the funds, I'll probably buy one.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the fun parts of running a channel, is you get to experience that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, definitely. And this is, I don't know if you've heard me talking about it. This is one that's on my radar, the little Breitling. He sent that into. It's actually the same colorway I want, so I may end up picking that up off of him.
I love that black and orange. That's cool.
The Endurance Pro.
I think I remember seeing that either on your Instagram or one of your videos.
Yeah. Watches. Like I said, it's cool to get to see, like you said, like different pieces, because you're kind of in the same position as me. Like here, I said, we only have, like, of course, the real XAD down the way, and you're lucky if there's anything there at all. And then there's, like, of course, Breitling and stuff. But I mean, other than that, there's not really much here.
Yeah, we got nothing in my town.
You get to check out a lot of cool different pieces. So,
yeah, I'm in like a really small town up in northeastern Japan. We got
we're
nothing.
Experiencing it with our audience at the same time. They're experiencing it with us.
And that's part of the fun of doing a YouTube channel. I think, the community support and getting people through that has just been great.
Definitely. And then Jordan, Christopher, a couple of I've been through Columbia, South Carolina. I'm in Myrtle Beach, Jordan. So it's about a 3-hour drive, capital of the state. So, but anybody else in the comments have any other questions for Dave? What's your next goals for the channel, Dave? Since you hit 30.
Yeah, I guess get to 50.
You want to go to 40?
Just kind of plugging along again. Like I kind of didn't expect it to go this far, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. But I'm just having fun. Just keep doing it, and see how it goes. There's still some brands I haven't checked out yet. I think it's kind of a balancing act between accepting all the watch review requests that are coming in versus focusing on content that I want to do. So I kind of go in spurts where I'll see a whole bunch of interesting watches being offered to be sent in, and I'll accept them all. And so then I'll have like a couple months where I'm doing nothing but reviewing these watches that were sent in. And then I'll go through a phase like, okay, I'm going to block everything out, and I have these other videos that I want to do and these other stuff I'm interested in. And then I'll focus on that for a while. So I kind of bounce back and forth. I'd like to get it under control where I'm doing just a healthy balance of both. But yeah, we'll see.
And Penny's asking, what is the watch community like in Japan? Do you go to local events? Of course, like pre-corona.
Yeah, there's so I don't even hardly know. Like I don't have any Japanese friends here that are into watches. And again, I'm like in a really small fishing town. Not much going on here at all. So yeah, I haven't been to any sort of watch related events, and it's kind of a bummer because actually like 2 hours away from me is one of Seiko's I think it's the Grand Seiko workshops is really close by. It's the right nice. By Mount Iwate. So if you guys have heard of like the Mount Iwate dials on the Grand Seikos and stuff, that's because they have a workshop about 2 hours from here where they designed a lot of those things. And I haven't even
worth the trip.
Tour of it yet. But yeah, I definitely want to head up there. I used to live like 30 minutes away and I didn't even know it. And then I started collecting watches and then moved and never got the chance. So.
Pete's Garage is asking, have you ever done a review and then changed your opinion after the video is released?
Not drastically. I've been like really excited about a watch when I reviewed it and then cooled on it after the review, but never completely changed my opinion of it. Generally, yeah, I think that the most has been like, maybe the watch, after a couple weeks or later, kind of cooled off on it. I didn't think as highly of it as I did when I did the review. Or vice versa. There's been ones where they didn't impress me when I did the review, and then a couple weeks later, it really started growing on me. So that does happen, but nothing drastic. For the most part, yeah, it's been fairly consistent.
And then Tom's asking, do you have a Grey watch?
I don't. Like for the longest time, this Hamilton was. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I did a video saying that this Hamilton that I got was my new Grail watch, and because I think before that the most I had ever spent on a watch was about $200, and this one I think was like gray market, you get it for like $700, so that was a huge step up for me, and I just got it, so that's great. If I was going to pick like a real Grail, it would probably be something like I don't know, like a Rolex Explorer 2 polar dial. I don't even know any of the reference numbers, but something from that line, or like a Sky Dweller, just because I think Rolex is cool and I love GMT complications. So, as far as Grail watches grow while I'm dreaming, that might be something that would be cool to have.
Do you find yourself getting more comfortable with different prices, like higher price ranges as you go along? Do you find yourself getting more and more comfortable spending a little bit more?
Yeah, and again, it's mostly because the channel is generating income. So, like, right now, I don't know if you're supposed to, like, so my channel, I'm getting around $1,500 a month from the channel recently, last couple months, which is, yeah, just mind blowing that that's happening because this is like nothing I ever expected. And it's, that's obviously not enough to live off of, but when this is just a hobby, and that's primarily just extra disposable income, and since, creating content is part of it, it doesn't feel nearly as much of a stretch to spend that YouTube money on a watch. So whereas before it was, like $200 would be, I could maybe buy one $200 watch every 6 months or something like that. Was more the range I was in, but now it's like, if I'm just using some of the YouTube money, I could buy a couple $100 watches every month. And so, so things like that, it's a lot easier, but I try and balance it out. Trying to save up some of that money. You never know what's going to happen in times like these. And, try not to just blow it all on watches, but
Jordan is saying he had no clue you were Japan. He said for some reason he thought you were in the UK. Do you feel a difference in the watch market
must be my California accent. Again, by me staying mostly in the affordable realm, I don't notice too much of a difference. And again, especially being in such a small town like this, I buy most of my stuff on Amazon Japan. This is like really my go-to place for sourcing watches. So it's not really that much different from buying in the U.S. If I was living in Tokyo, yeah, I'm sure that the culture there would be a lot different. There'd be all kinds of crazy cool shops and stuff. Yeah.
Junior Joss is asking, do you speak Japanese?
はい、日本語できます。何か言うことある？あ、Clive, hey.
Clive is asking, how long do you think? What?
Oh, see, now that's a great question, and that's I think that's one of the concerns that I have, kind of jumping into this, like starting the YouTube channel at the same time as starting collecting. I feel like a lot of times I'm not getting the time to really know a lot of the watches that I have, and that's one thing that I feel like I missed by starting the YouTube channel, and just you kind of get sucked into reviewing so many different watches. It's hard to really do it. Like, for a review, I feel like I can get a pretty good feel for a watch, at least enough to review it after wearing it for about 2 weeks. And so that's kind of my standard. I try and get a good wear on the watch for about 2 weeks before reviewing it. Some of these, go a little bit quicker. But yeah, so some of the watches I've had, I felt like I didn't really understand them until after having them for closer to 6 months to a year, and then I think part of it is just as you learn more about watch collecting, you appreciate the details more, even about a watch that you might have had for years. So yeah, no, that's a great question.
And then Nefarion's saying, good morning, great work, Dave. Watched the Royal Broke video this morning. He quite liked the bracelet sizing, and you're doing great on camera. The recent Audica video.
Yeah, thanks. That was like a kind of a new segment. Then again, back to trying to figure out ways to review more watches in a shorter amount of time. I've started doing these unboxing plus reviews, I call them, where I what's he saying?
And then Tom's.
See, now here's where I gotta here's where I gotta learn more kanji, because that one in the middle I don't recognize. あなたは何針が好きですか？針かな？金？いや、何? Yeah, I don't recognize that kanji in the middle. So I'm terrible at reading, but he's asking me if I like something, but I can't figure out the one in the middle. Sorry, Tom. Maybe if I look it up on Google Translate.
Yeah, that's what he's sick with the eyes. But yeah, man. So you basically, like I said, this started out as a hobby before we kind of grew.
Yeah, it's, and I don't know. I feel like
here's a question.
I feel like the YouTube channel and the hobby and the watch collecting is kind of merged into one hobby. It's managing the channel and interacting with people, and using that to base my watch buying opinions. It's sort of all blended together, and I really enjoy that. It's fun. At some point, and sometimes I wish I could just focus on the watches. But yeah, I'm having a ton of fun doing this as it is now. No, I haven't bought any pre-owned watches in Japan. I don't think. No, haven't. I've looked at secondhand shops a lot and almost pulled the trigger a couple times.
And then Clive is making.
Oh.
2021 Godzilla versus Kong Yo.
I don't think many people here pay attention to the American versions of Godzilla. I think they like their own ones better. Yeah, they don't. The American versions don't seem as popular here.
Any cool micros in Japan, or is it all Seiko?
I haven't seen many Japanese micro brands. I mean, at least not in the affordable. Not in the affordable segment of things. Singapore is really close to here, but they're just one time zone away. And Singapore is crazy right now for micro brands. They have all the greatest micro brands are coming out of Singapore, or at least a lot of them. So that's been interesting. It's been kind of cool being kind of a step closer to Singapore.
That's where
I'm close to almost in the same time zone with them, so it's easier to communicate with a lot of the brands over there. getting to know those guys. But I haven't met too many people in Japan that are doing micro brands. Yeah, it's Casio and Seiko and Citizen. Yeah, pretty dominant.
I think Elshin is from Singapore, right?
Yep.
From
You got Zealous is Singapore. I believe Boulder is Singapore. Vario's over there. What Resolute or not? Was it RZE? What were they before? They did the Resolute, the Ryza.
Reese.
Reese.
Yeah,
that's right.
Travis from Boulder, I think, made his own brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Loom Room is asking, what was the last watch you knocked back for review? I noticed you actually posted one up this morning, right?
The last one that I knocked back for you, like that I turned down. Is he asking, or the last one that I did?
I thought he meant maybe. I don't know. Maybe he put one up, posted up.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I posted a video of review.
Clive's asking, would you have a drink off with Austin?
Yeah, I would probably drink a Coke. I'm not a big drinker. He'd probably drink me under the table, but yeah, he's down where I don't even remember where. I know he's down way south. Like we're kind of on opposite ends of the country. But yeah, there's not that many watch guys over here in Japan, so it'd be cool. I've chatted with him a couple of times, just on YouTube chats, comments and stuff. But yeah, if we ever happen to cross paths, it'd be cool to look him up. But again, he's kind of, we're on opposite ends we're opposite ends of Japan and opposite ends of the watch collecting spectrum too. Although he does like Vostoks, so maybe I should get a Vostok, and at least we can have that in common because I can afford a Vostok.
What brands are
Casio, I think, is the most popular brand. That's one I see the most. Casio is Casio. Yeah, G-Shocks you see everywhere here. They're super popular.
Okay. And Alex is asking, what's the best three-piece collection everyday sports dress under $1,000 for your opinion?
You're asking for all three of them under $1,000, or three watches each $1,000 each?
Maybe the whole collection for $1,000.
I don't know what the best would be off the top of my head. I could give you like dress watch is one that I'm kind of lacking that in my collection right now. A dress watch that I really love. Ones that are high on my list that are kind of in that price range would be like the Tissot Visidate. I really like the Visidate Heritage. So that's one I'd like to check out. Maybe get. There's a couple of Seiko Presages that I think would be cool. And I don't have a lot of Seiko, so a Seiko Presage dress watch would be a good one to go. I absolutely love my Orient Star Sports field watch. I'd definitely be keeping that one in there. And I love the Bulova Lunar Pilot. Those are both really affordable. So if you want a chronograph and field watch, those would be two that I have that I would definitely keep. Oh, okay. So he's asked the last watch.
How does Bulova wear? Does it wear really big?
It does, but I feel like I can just barely pull it off. I wear it on an elastic strap a lot, and that helps. It wears pretty well on an elastic strap, like a Marine Nationale or a Elastic NATO or something like that. Those work. Last watch brand.
Of course, the Loom Room's asking what was the last watch brand.
Yeah, okay, so that's what he's asking. Who was it? Like, I almost feel mean saying. So I just got one like yesterday. There's a new German one called I think it's called LA. And they're producing some cool looking watches. But the one that they wanted me to review, it's a 36 millimeter quartz sports watch, sapphire crystal screw down crown, but they're charging close to $300 for it. And just looking at the specs and stuff, I don't think $300 is like an outrageous amount for a watch like that, but it's not like a great. It doesn't. I feel like I'd have a hard time saying, "Oh, this is a great value. Everybody should go out and buy the watch," just based on the specs and the pictures that I saw. I feel like there's a lot better watches for around the $300 price point, so that's why I kind of turn that and the timing. But yeah, they were the latest one. So yeah, I don't mean to say anything bad about them, but yeah.
Yeah. And then Clive is asking, does Grand Seiko in Japan have a negative classist vibe like Rolex does in the U.S.? Like, are there like snobbery, I guess, with him?
I don't know. I get the feeling that more Japanese guys are into Rolex here than Grand Seiko. And that's kind of a weird thing. But Japan, they love Western stuff. So they like German cars. They like Swiss watches, and they have one of the best auto manufacturing industries in the world, one of the best watch industries in the world. But they still have a lot of interest in Western culture, and especially the higher end stuff. So when it comes to luxury goods, I feel like maybe it's a little bit overshadowed.
Yeah, I'd love to visit just for the cars. I'm really into cars. I've heard the car scene over there is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Again, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so it's not too active where I'm at. But yeah.
Jordan's got a question for both of us. After reviewing a piece, has it changed your mind on the brand, and did you buy it? Was there one you bought after reviewing one that you didn't think were in?
Not yet. There's been a couple that I've come close on. I mean, a lot of times the ones that I review, they let me keep anyways, so then I don't have to buy it, which is even better. There's some that I probably would have bought, but yeah, so the one I've been most tempted by. So again, looking for a dress watch, I reviewed the Vero Empire, and that one's really cool for a dress watch. Really amazing watch, great price.
Actually, have one of the ones I got to send back.
You one of the new Four Seasons ones? Oh no, that's the tuxedo one. Yeah, that's a cool one. So there's that one. And then, so Swiss Watch Company, they just came out with the Bunker, which I haven't reviewed yet, but I already want to buy it. But they're going to be sending it over for review. So I'm going to be checking that one out, and maybe I'll see them. But that's what I'm really tempted by.
And Josh and his dad are good people.
Yeah, they are. They're really cool guys, and got to know them a little bit through doing the channel too. So they're great.
Yeah. For me personally, there's been a couple that I would like to buy, of course, like I said, but I can't really pull the trigger. Of course, this Tudor's one of them, but not right at the moment. Not saying I won't never, but there's been a couple here and there. Like Talker is really, I really enjoyed Talkers that I've had in, so I may end up picking up one of the Hulks. I do like the Hulks. I don't know if you've seen those or not. The Air Defenders. They're a little bit bigger. I knew they were like. I never thought they would wear as well as they did on the wrist until I tried it on, kind of thing. So that's probably one of the other ones. All right, Nefarian, don't work too hard, bud.
See ya. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess we're going on about 40 minutes here. Unless you guys got any more questions for Dave? Well, because I'm sure it's getting late for him, and then I just worked last night, so I'm getting ready to go to bed myself.
Yeah, we're kind of on the same schedule now, right?
So, yeah, pretty much, because I work night shift. I get up at 6 in the morning.
Probably working and sleeping at the same time.
Pretty much. Man. But unless anybody's got any questions, I appreciate everybody for joining the chat, especially this early in the morning or late in the evening, wherever you are. I know Thomas Burnett, he's over in England. So we've got a couple of different people from all over, Lim Rooms from Scotland. So pretty cool seeing people from different countries.
Yeah, that's been one of the funnest things about getting on YouTube is, there's so many people all over the world that are interested in watches, and it's a great way to connect.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely a lot of cool people all over the place. So I guess we'll get ready. Wait, I got a question for you. Let's see. When you try to visit the Grand Seiko.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. I live in Iwate, so it's I've got to get up there sometime. I know exactly where it's at. I've probably driven past it a couple of times, but I haven't been able to find time to do a tour yet. But I definitely want to. Yeah. So I've hiked up Mount Iwate 3 or 4 times.
And then there's Stifles asking the best way to
go on a short-term mission trip. That's what I did. I went on a short-term mission trip with my Christian college. I worked at a church for 6 weeks and taught English, and I married the pastor's daughter. So worked great.
Okay. But yeah, we'll stick around for another minute or so. If nobody's got any more questions, we'll call it an evening or a morning here. So appreciate everybody for joining the chat, and then of course we'll probably get a lot of people rewatch it too, because a lot are just now, at least over here, a lot of my main. You notice that too. You get a lot more viewers in the U.S. than you do everywhere else.
Right. Yeah. Bulk of my viewers are US. So yeah, try and release stuff around that time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious about that because I'm starting to get a little bit more of a reach myself.
Yeah, I think it's something like 60% US.
It shows a couple from Japan. You're probably one of mine.
Okay. I have.
Eric's asking when you plan on doing the.
I have. I've done the drawing. I have the video editing open in another window right now. I'm editing the video to post it. So if I stay up late, I can get it posted today. Otherwise, I'll probably post it after I'm done working tomorrow. But yeah, I have recorded it. I know who's won the drawing, but I haven't done the announcement yet.
Okay. Well, congrats. Definitely a great looking watch.
I wish
I have to get a hold of Josh to see if he can send one out for me to check
Yeah,
out.
if he can dig one up. They sold out so fast, but I guess they're going to be doing some another run of it in the spring, I think. So hopefully then.
Okay. That's somebody I want to get on channel on a live stream too. Me and him, we've been trying to connect, but schedules.
Yeah.
Is he know or wish you would know prior to starting? What do you wish you knew, I guess, or would have known prior to starting your YouTube channel?
I was pretty happy going into it pretty blind. I think half the fun was just figuring stuff out and learning how to do it. But yeah, like the biggest thing for me was just the consistency to just keep putting out videos and trying to improve little by little. Handy things that I've learned along the way, like get into the video as quick as you can. Like I think me and probably everybody who gets in front of a camera, the first thing you do is tend to ramble and slowly build into getting to what you want to talk about. But people's attention spans are so short on YouTube. It's like you have to really grab their attention within the first 10 seconds of the video. I mean, like I look at my graphs for my videos, and like almost all of them, I lose about half the audience in the first 10 seconds. So if you can't capture them in 10 seconds, you're going to lose most of the people that are going to watch it, and they're not going to stick around. Jump right into the meat of the video as fast as you can, and try and hold people's attention. Try and cut out as much stuff as possible. You just cut out when you do video editing. That's the fun thing about that is, you might be like me. Like I ramble in real life and I can just talk about whatever for a long time. But if you're editing the video, you can cut all that out. Just trim out anything that's not incredibly interesting that you said and throw it away, and stick to that. So those are some of the things I've been trying to do more and more. And even still, my videos are like 17, 18 minutes long, which is like way too long, I think. Probably still is a lot more I should cut out. But yeah, those are some of the things I'm figuring out.
What do you use? This question from me. What do you use for editing software?
So I recently switched to DaVinci Resolve. It's kind of a higher end one, but so it's free, which is cool. It's a professional level, like Hollywood grade video editing software that I think they're trying to get more people to learn the software and then become video editing professionals. So they have a free version, which is incredibly powerful, full featured. And then they have a pro version that has tools that basically you'd have to be working in Hollywood to really use. So they're trying to get people hooked on the free version so that when they go into the professional realm, they'll take that knowledge and they'll try and get, the more people in the professional realm to use their expensive version. But yeah, I really like it. It took a long time to get the hang of it, but it's a really great software. You do need a powerful computer to run it, though. So that's one of the drawbacks.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing. Like I said, my computer's about to grit, I think.
Yeah,
So I'll definitely be upgrade. Probably to something like that. It's probably one I'll upgrade to.
yeah. That was my big channel purchase last year. Was I purchased a new computer, so that was my. I used the YouTube funds to buy a new video editing PC, and so that's been nice.
Nice. Nice. Well, appreciate your time, Dave. I appreciate you for coming on, man.
Yeah,
Definitely
thanks
have
for
to get
having
on
me. This
again
was a
and
lot of
talk watch
fun.
this again. Yeah.
It's cool just hanging out and talking to people. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're on the same schedule, so
Yeah, we
definitely
should
have
go
to
figure
get up
something
and do
out,
it
right?
again sometime. Yeah, man. All right, everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys and for coming on. See you guys next time.
Yeah, good talking to everybody.
Oh, by the way,
See you later.
I almost forgot to mention his channel is sorry, get tired. Yeah, just to watch, guys. If you don't know, you probably know who he is, but go over and follow him if you don't already, just to watch. Great content, guys. So we'll call it. Should be.